Hi guys, I know this isn't a typical video for me. I have thought about posting videos just discussing different topics and things because I'm a writer. I try to keep up with current events and look at things going on in the world. Something that just really concerns me about the internet, and I think what it's done to a lot of us psychologically. When we log into a social media platform, be it Instagram or Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, it's on a small screen on our phones. And it feels like this very contained, tiny little space that we've curated, and it just feels like a small room in your house, I guess. I feel like that's how a lot of people view it, and they forget that anything you post on the internet, whether it's viewed by millions of people and liked by hundreds of thousands of people or only viewed by 2 people, everyone has access to that. There is nothing private about the internet. It doesn't matter if you put something behind a paywall. It doesn't matter if you make something private to an extent. You know, if you have a page that can only be seen by your friends or whatever. Once it's on the internet, there is no way to get it back. I think that that's something that a lot of us do know enough when it comes to things like posting our address or our banking information, stuff that is just kind of hardwired in our brain to be something that we should protect. Unless you're incredibly stupid, you're not going to post a picture of like your driver's license or your passport. But I feel like there are softer things in our lives that we forget could still be used against us. Or I guess I hate using that term because it sounds so extreme, but can be used in a way that's expletive. And I think that's really important to talk about when we discuss kids on the internet. I cannot express how much I just absolutely despise children being accessible to people, particularly children who don't consent to being put on the internet in the first place. It really infuriates me because I think even like innocent people just posting about your child's first day at school on Facebook and posting pictures of them next to their school bus. Like you're posting a picture of little Tommy next to the name of his school. And just because it's available for your friends and your family to see, it doesn't mean that other people can't have access to it, can't find ways to gain access to it. And I don't want to put the fear of like God in anybody, but you also don't even know everyone in your life who they may be connected to or whatever. I really think that parents need a reminder that any information about your kid, you need to be really careful with. And it's not just something that you need to teach them, like stranger danger, or don't post you with your social media. Like you also need to think about your level of engagement as a parent and as an adult on the internet. And that's just for innocent parents, I think, or people who are, I would say, more naive or just forget that sadly, there are a lot of people in the world that don't care about the well-being of your child. And a lot of those people are parents themselves. Every child deserves a parent. Not every parent deserves a child. And that statement has just been proven further to me and a lot of us with this whole thing surrounding a woman on TikTok. I'm going to show you a clip of one of her statements now.
The past few months have been incredibly distressing, and I've learned a lot. What started out as a hobby to make a digital scrapbook for my daughter Wren grew into an interesting role for me as a single stay-at-home mom. Wren is my number one priority, and her upbringing and safety are my top job 24 hours a day. This account has allowed me to provide for my daughter and to set aside money for her future. I'm not sure how this conspiracy theory got started and spiraled out of control. What you need to know is that no law enforcement agencies I conferred with, including the FBI, have found any proof that my daughter's likeness appears on inappropriate websites. These rumors are 100% false.
Content creators and people brought attention to this channel over a year ago. So this is nothing new. This has been going on for a year. But this woman, Jacqueline, started a TikTok with her and her daughter, and it started out innocent enough. However, a lot of the content that she posted of her daughter, even just one video, would be infuriating. But she has posted several clips on TikTok of her daughter that are suggestive and are sexual. It's incredibly obvious that that's what it is. I think even if you are a person who is not creepy or views children in that way, you would still look at this and be like, this is inappropriate. And it is known that the content is available to and being saved and shared and used by pedophiles. And there is no way that this mother can play dumb. She cannot pretend that she doesn't see it. Even if she really is that stupid that she doesn't see it, she can't pretend that it's not a problem, because the sheer amount of people who have come forward to call her out on this, address it, talk about it, report her TikTok, all of that. I would hope if I were ever in her shoes, that moment would be a wake-up call. If the first several instances of interacting with creepy people on the internet, or even just seeing one or two comments, because I know from falling down a rabbit hole with this and doing research that Wren was receiving very disgusting and alarming comments prior to this really blowing up. I don't know how, as a parent, I feel like if I just saw one terrifying comment or anything that made me feel like my child's safety, their dignity was not being respected by someone online, I would take it upon myself to remove any and all pictures that I had posted of my child.
What is true, Wren is a happy, healthy 3-year-old. The videos we film together from my account a couple of hours a week are fun and lighthearted.
This TikTok account is named after the daughter. And she is very clearly the focal point of every single one of these videos. She, I would go so far as to say, is very clearly a prop for her mother and the content that she's posting, which is something that you see all the time with stage parents, parents who peddle their kids around for auditions and commercials and TV shows as a way to make money. I really feel like this woman, Jacqueline, could be put in the same vein as people like the Olsen twins' parents or Dylan and Cole Sprouse's parents. But the fact that she has continued to post the content and now is outright exploiting her daughter, because she has admitted that this TikTok account is a means or a source of income for her and her daughter, that is so damning to me. It's incriminating, because that means all of this is a decision being made, a business decision. This is not one clip that was taken out of context and quickly deleted. This is her willfully doing this for money. It's really bringing me to my point of this video and the title of this video, which is, can we just stop putting kids on the internet? I don't think people should be able to monetize a child on the internet, period. Because I think there are very few cases where that is ever going to end in a positive way, or parents are going to be responsible about it. There are certainly exceptions to the rule, but I feel like the differences with other people in other industries is that there are other adults who can step in. When Jacqueline is recording on her phone at home, it's just her. She's the one making all of these decisions, and there is no one overseeing what she's doing.
What I've learned from this ordeal, I realize I should have spent more time reading the community's comments. With millions of followers, this is no easy task. If these false rumors have prompted parents to rethink how they let their kids be involved in social media, that is a good thing.
I feel like, unfortunately, in some ways, this woman, Jacqueline, has already done just some irreparable damage to her daughter's life. You know, your daughter may be 3 or 4 right now and not know what's going on, but someday she is going to be old enough to comprehend everything I'm saying in this video, everything that other people are saying about this situation. And as we know, the internet is forever. Your daughter's name is going to be associated with this now as she grows up in school and as her peers start having access to the internet, and so will she. It is incredibly heartbreaking to think about how she's going to have to work through the pain of knowing that her mother was exploiting her in any way, and then in such a perverted and disgusting way. Your life does not have to be on the internet for everyone to see, and neither does your child's.
What baffles me is that rumor spreaders express such passionate concern for my daughter, yet law enforcement has found zero real proof about these untrue allegations. Creating videos talking about scurrilous rumors that my 3-year-old daughter appears on isn't proof. Repeating false information over and over will never convert into fact. Doing so is wrongfully smearing my daughter's name and unjustly damaging my reputation.
What really infuriates me about her response the most is just the complete lack of awareness. It really is just trying to save face. But something that I think is really important, again, to remind people of: the dark web, pedophiles, or any bad people when we talk about criminals, don't only hang out on the dark web. Yes, you're not going on the dark web to shop for wafer lamps. Someone on these sites is probably up to something. That is true, and the average person is not going to look up sexualized content of children. All squares are rectangles, not all rectangles are squares. But to assume that predators only search for child content on dark websites, if that's what you've always thought, oh my God, I'm here to burst your bubble. Everyone has access to the internet, all parts of it, and frankly, for a pedophile who is smart enough to want to avoid legal persecution if they have child porn on their computer, it is a lot safer and easier for them to find content of kids on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. That can include content that is innocent, by the way. And this woman is doing anything but that with the content that she's posting of her daughter. If you think I'm just theorizing about pedophiles using this content, I have some confirmation for you. Here's confirmation from a clinical forensic psychologist, Dr. Leslie. She talks about it a lot.
I've talked to a lot of in my career, and when they can't access child, do you know what they use? The New York Times did an investigation of child influencers. You can't have an Instagram account if you're under 13, so parents are running accounts for children. Although it's incredible to use social media to start a savings account for your kids, they can go to college and buy a house and a car, bad things are happening. Here's the problem. They looked at 5,000 child accounts and 32 million followers were adult men. Meta has disclosed that over 500,000 accounts every day have inappropriate content or interactions. When a parent posts a picture of a child and they appear more sexualized, like in a bathing suit, they get far more likes and comments from adult men. Yesterday I posted a video on how who can't access child will use children's influencer accounts on social media, and these accounts are knowingly run by parents, usually mothers. I've seen a lot of comments where people are very disturbed by specific mom influencer accounts. So I checked out one account in particular and I looked at the content and how many saves there were. So if the little girl was doing something innocent, not a lot of saves. If the little girl was doing something that could be seen as sexualized, it was shocking.
For this woman, Jacqueline, on TikTok, to be handing pedophiles suggestive content of her daughter on a platter and on a platform that isn't going to raise any red flags. This isn't a scenario where you can just say, well, most of the people watching this video are probably good people because the average person is on TikTok. Even one pedophile looking at photos of your child should concern you as a parent.
TikTok analytics show that my followers are 76.8% female. That's more than 13 million females, including lots of moms.
This TikTok account has 17 million followers. 17 million followers. I don't care what she says about analytics. Your audience may appear primarily to be women who can still be predators, mind you, but that can also be fake. Anyone can say they're anyone or anything on the internet when it comes to creating an account. Jacqueline, you have exposed your daughter to far more of the world than she should ever really be exposed to. And she is not even in school yet. I am a small content creator and streamer. I don't have a large following, but I already have experienced people sexualizing me and sending me private messages, all of that. And I don't even show my face online. I am just a woman's voice on the internet. And for some people, that is already enough. As an adult, I've decided that I want to post content on the internet. Even for adults on the internet, people say, the cost of fame or the cost of public recognition are things, it comes with stalking or it comes with people being creepy, which I think is ridiculous. No adult should ever have to deal with things like that. How can we even begin then to expect a child to learn to navigate that when for a lot of adults it's difficult? It takes a mental toll on you. But I've also accepted a lot of this. I'm not okay with it, but I also don't ruminate on it. I know that I can learn to navigate comments. I can decide how much of this is going to affect me and how much of it I'm going to let affect me. A child cannot and should not be expected to navigate all of these mental avenues and the nuances of so much of this. An adult can consent to being sexualized if they so desire for their career, but a child not only can't, but should not be promoted in any way like this. I don't care if the money is going toward her future. That does not wash away the reality of the ways that this money has been earned. Hey everyone, quick update from me, and I'm really excited to see this. While I was editing this video, I was going to go to TikTok to try to get a few screenshots of some things, and it looks like Wren's account is now private, or Jacqueline's account, or whatever you want to call it. It's been made private. It has not been deleted. It does not say on TikTok that it no longer exists or it was taken down, but it has been privated. Exciting news, more exciting than continuing to see this account flourish with 17 million followers and content being posted. So, yep. What really scares me too is people can have fixations with someone, and your daughter is no exception just because she's a young girl. There are countless videos that you have on this account that advertise her interests, her name, how she behaves in public. What's even more terrifying to me is the thought of someone knowing all of this information and then her security being in jeopardy because an adult who watches a lot of this content could just approach her and seem like a nice person who likes the same colors that she does. Wren seems very sweet and adorable, and that makes it all the more unsettling. Adults get taken places by people that we trust. A child is even more vulnerable. So, update to the update. I went back on TikTok later today and I saw that her account is back up. All of the comments are still disabled, but the account is back up. So, I have seen the discussion shift to people saying that Jacqueline is clearly not going to stop. She's not going to stop posting content of her daughter. So I think the next best thing is continue to report her TikTok account if possible and reach out to brands or sponsors that pay her and her account. I think we just need to be vocal. We need to be vocal with companies, really continue to address this. If she's not going to take responsibility for her actions, no one can force her to do so. But we still have control as other people in the public space and people who consume content. We can still be vocal about companies like you shouldn't endorse a channel with a child at the forefront. And particularly not this account where a child is being subjected to being sexualized and there is so much controversy around the type of content. Even if she's removed the videos, they are still out there. They can still be found on the internet. It doesn't matter if they're not on the main page. They are everywhere. I don't want this video to end on a cynical note. and have it sound like me saying everyone out there in the world is a bad person. And I don't think you posting a picture of your newborn in the hospital makes you a bad person or puts your child in danger. Discussing parenthood online, all the wonderful things and the challenging things, or discussing how proud you are of your kid online, that also doesn't make you exploitive as a parent. But please still keep it in the back of your mind that everything you say online is available for everyone to see. If you have a status on Facebook complaining about the school your child attends, or talking about how annoying it was that your daughter wouldn't go to bed last night, know that faculty at the school and your children's peers can see that. And when it comes to posting photos of your child, please don't assume that just because you're a good person and you would never imagine putting a child in danger or taking advantage of them in any way, that other people are as caring as you. You may not be able to imagine it, but there are people who not only do, but also find ways to justify the terrible things that they do. Please just be careful. As far as this TikTok account goes, I've reported it. I would urge other people to do so as well. I hope in the future we can have legislation or other things put in place so children can't be utilized for a profit online. I know some platforms have started disabling comments, like YouTube disables comments with videos that feature children, but I personally think that accounts just shouldn't be, quote, run by children or based around kids. There are all sorts of protections and protocols now in the film and music industries with kids. And even then, that is still evolving and has areas where it can improve. I hope we can work hard to see more of that on the internet as well, because the children beneath us are going to inherit our problems and our poor decisions if we don't do something about it. That's really it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna have more content in the future. I don't know if I'll keep talking about topics like this. I mean, I'd like to, because I really am passionate about things that I don't know. I just want the world to be better for people, not just for myself, but for everyone. That doesn't mean that everybody has the same view of like what that world is, but I am very vocal about the things that matter to me and are important to me. So thank you again, and stay safe out there. Be kind to yourself. I'll see you soon.